Hello and welcome to In the Wall with me, Parker Kligerman. This is our 8th episode. You may notice I'm dressed a little different. Well, it's Bring Your Parents to Work Day. My parents didn't come, but I decided to dress like my dad. All right, so normally this is where we get into the news of the week, but there's some things that happened this weekend that are just too good to ignore from when NASCAR raced on Monday because we got postponed on Sunday because of rain. So we put on a good show on a Monday. It was a good time, but there were some things that kept coming up that I felt like we just had to dive back into here on In the Wall. And one of the big things to take away from the Dega race was this. The fact that there's actually a new Corvette coming. Have you heard?
Were you surprised into the first period meeting was called?
Yeah, we were just talking about the Corvette there.
Talking about the new design for the Corvette.
A few PowerPoints to look at, specs and things like that.
Important. You got a nice car coming out here soon.
So, I look forward to get my chance to get behind the wheel of the Corvette.
No, it's just me really liking the Corvette. Maybe they'll let me drive one at some point.
Hey, I'm with them. I want to get one on Proving Grounds next season. Looks like an awesome car. All right, so as a Toyota driver, though, I actually had a discussion with my teammates where we were enamored with the Toyota Supra, as you'll see here. Yep, that's me coming out of the hauler. Yep, so here, look. Yep, there's no one else with me. That's because we don't have any teammates at Gaughan Brothers Racing. And at Toyota, we had no orders. We were allowed to race with anyone we wanted to race with. So we were open for business, and guess what? We raced with anyone we could. Right. All right. Well, another Chevy that had a bit of an interesting time was Brendan Gaughan, who went for some acrobatics displays down the backstretch, and he downplayed some of the moves that he had, but I think he gave himself a pretty accurate score.
Money! Just keep making history, Simone Biles.
I mean, absolutely incredible.
Brendan Gaughan upside down.
Look at the 62, a full flip back on its wheels.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, it stuck the landing. Russian judge docked me a little bit. I didn't keep it straight. Legs together. Didn't really stick it well, but Mother, it's okay. It's just a flip. It didn't hurt, I promise.
Oh, man. I can't get over that one. I'm glad he was all right, first and foremost. I know Brandon's a tough guy, but I can tell you, I knew that wreck was happening because the 18 had a little wiggle. I was at the back of the pack, sort of watching. I was going towards the bottom that time, but I knew there was a caution coming when I was reading the 62 and beard oil sponsorship in the middle of the sky like a paper plate was flying through it. So that was incredible. It almost looked fake, and I just heard Dave, he gave it a 10 out of 10, Brendan. So no docking of your points here. Gaughan wasn't the only one with some tricks up his sleeve. I also managed to bring this show's title to life while tying my best finish of my Cup Series career. So here we are coming off turn 4 on the last lap. You see the 37, Chris Buescher gets a little bit sideways, ends up spinning out. I get turned by the 8, and I hit the wall at 184 miles per hour. Head on. That was a very hard hit. I'm very short. Now there you see it rights itself. That's when I nailed the throttle, even though I had no steering, because I knew we were still on the lead lap, and I was not going to not finish that damn race, if I can put it lightly. So I was a little upset about that. We did everything right all day, and even down the backstretch, I was pushing the 37, and I looked at the data. We were doing 206.9 miles an hour into turn 3. I think if he and I could have unleashed ourselves to the top side, that could have been a totally different result, but definitely hurt a little bit. And this is normally, at some point in the show, we're going to go into a rant, but I, after hitting the wall that hard, have forgotten how to write. So no rant today. But I did notice some of you laughed at the name of this series initially, calling it #InTheWall. And then you continue to laugh with NBC Sports App's clever video placement, where that's when I was hitting the wall at Charlotte in practice, and then In the Wall was right below it. Yeah, you get the point. And then a few of you were actually concerned on Reddit, and I thank you for that. You guys basically said, hey, can we take a moment to talk about how hard Parker hit the wall on the last lap of that race? And many of you had nice comments and compared it to some other large hits out there. I was able to confirm that I'm still here, not dead, and then give you some of the points that I just gave there about what I felt we were going to finish if that didn't happen. So, yeah, it's very nice of you guys, though, to notice. Thank you, Reddit. I feel There I say, I'm damn sore the last 2 days, but better by the hour. I'm feeling good now, feeling better to be on this show. So I made some of my own contributions to that show, in terms of the name. But be sure, as always, to send us your contributions. So you can do that by using hashtag #InTheWall. I almost forgot that. I'm telling you, I'm still good. Either on Twitter or Instagram, or just reach out to me at Pete Kligerman on Twitter, Instagram, and we will get you on the show. Or leave comments in the YouTube comments area, and you'll get on this show, I swear. But you know what? This is where we go into some of your comments, as we're going to do right now. So, from Instagram, Kligerfan, on the final restart, did you guys pit rather than restarting P6? Yes, we did pit, because after avoiding that huge wreck, I felt like we had slid our tires, which means I locked up some of the front tires, and we'd run through so much debris that I just didn't trust that those tires weren't damaged in some way. So knowing it was just a couple lap shootout, we would look pretty dumb if we blew a tire and didn't finish on the lead lap. So we came down knowing there was only about 14 cars in the lead lap, put some new tires on, and I felt like I could have gotten back to that 6th place position and felt like I was still going to get there until we had our wreck off turn 4. So it was unfortunate, but I think it was the right move. Also, another question we had out there from Connor Hale 98, is the car totaled? Very direct. So I don't know yet. Haven't got that update from the team. All I can tell you is that the front clip tried to basically insert itself in the engine. And that's never good. Anyway, and then there's this. Hold on, I'm adjusting. Never mind. All right, time now for quick takes. This is some of the news around the world, and we start in Miami, which is poised to host Formula One starting in 2021 at the Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Dolphins. An agreement, in principle, was announced Tuesday for the proposed event. It would give F1 a second race in the United States, something it's wanted for a long time now. And I'm just going to say, because I've seen this happen many times before, if this actually happens, I'll actually go to it and film something for In the Wall. That's my offer. I know, not much. All right, in the world of esports, 17-year-old Zach Novak is making the rounds after he won the eNASCAR iRacing Championship last week on NBCSN. He recently hosted an Ask Me Anything session on Reddit, where he discussed, among other topics, how he prepares for the events and how he deals with those who think he's just playing a video game. I can tell you that this has rocked the racing world. It was the talk of Talladega. Not only was it an incredible finish, but that this 17-year-old is starting to build a name for himself in the racing world. I think get used to this, because esports, motorsports is going to be the future of where some of the stars in the sport come from. Zach Novak might be the first one. And simulated racing isn't just for entertainment either. Formula E used it for testing this week in Valencia, Spain. Teams ran a 31-lap simulated race session with 1 full-course yellow and 2 safety car periods as a systems check to prepare for the new season. Stoffel Vandoorne has actually won something. He was declared the winner, beating Antonio Felix da Costa by almost 2 seconds. Next month, they'll be racing for real. And for Stoffel, I follow him on a lot of social media, and I'm very happy to see that, because his last few tenure, or his time in Formula One, was not anything to be remembered. So I'm pretty sure that was a huge boon of confidence for him. All right. So, since it's been an exhausting week already, the producers gathered some social media on the positive side. That actually exists. So let's take a look. All right, so in YouTube world, this is NASCAR lover gaming. I don't know how to say this. This is my favorite show on the internet. Parker is the best host. Wow, that was very nice. I didn't know this sort of thing existed out there in the YouTube comment. Is that allowed? Does this get flagged at some point? Another name I have no idea how to say. Great show. I'd love to see its length increased to at least a half hour, though. This is great stuff I'd love to see more of. A half hour. Well, if you've got a sponsor who would like to come on here and, actually maybe pay us to do this, we might be able to get to a half hour. I might run out of steam, breath, or a voice at a half hour, but, maybe at that point we can get someone on here, the screen, something, guest, I don't know. Maybe Dave will start talking. We get him on. That'd be cool. David Spain, if you're watching, come on, join us. Come for real. Not just in bobblehead form. And in Twitter, basically, Zach said, hey, at P. Kligerman, you've got fans in Japan at Pen3 something there, and I are cheering you on, hashtag in the wall. We are all the way, we are global, people. We are global. This is amazing. Motorsports at NBC YouTube is being watched in Japan. I'm blown away. This has actually uplifted me a lot. Thank you, producers. And then the last one, a request from James Rutke. This might be considered a little self-serving, but would you be open to doing an episode of #InTheWall on @GauntBrothersRacing? We see so much Penske, Gibbs, Stewart, Haas. Let's talk about GBR, racing route stuff. Well, that's a great idea, and it goes back to maybe if we had the time and budget and that sort of thing, we'd make it happen. But all I can say is if you want to know more about Gaunt Brothers Racing, follow them on social media and reach out to me. Just ask me questions on Twitter, on Instagram, maybe even on Reddit. I'm always on there. I will find you, I will answer it, or just send it in using #InTheWall, and we'll answer it on this show, right? On Instagram or Twitter @Kligerman. That is our show. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys. I'm going to try and stay out of the wall in Kansas.
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.